Okay, so now we are looking at the different branches of philosophy in a more deeper manner. The first one we're looking at is ontology, which, as we remember, is a branch of metaphysics that investigates the nature of being, existence, and the categories of beings. It examines foundational concepts such as substance, defined as that which exists independently. For example, as we said, Aristotle, Descartes, Kant, Heidegger, and Hartmann has been engaging in these. Now, metaphysics asks broader questions regarding time, space, and what things are. It has two opposing views. The first one is idealism. It says that the reality relies entirely within your mind and mental or social factors. So this means phenomena is constantly changing. This kind of goes with the ideology of Thales, I think, who says one cannot swim in the same river twice because that man is not the same man and the river is not the same river. I'm not sure if this was Thales or someone else. I hope it was. If not, I'm going to be very sad. Materialism is the opposing idea to idealism. It says that there are no reality that exists in your mind, and consciousness is only the result of active material operations. So, this is kind of a reductionist perspective that just says you don't have a consciousness, you don't have a mind, you cannot think. The only thing that is happening is electrical signals being sent within your brain and neurotransmitters just going through back in and out. It all suggests that. So, to recap, idealism, reality exists within the mind. Materialism, only physical things exist. Let's look at epistemology, which, as we remember, was the reasoning about knowledge. It shifts away from practical application to theoretically ask what is knowledge. It explores its limits, truths, and origins. Now, we have four different epistemological approaches. The first one is rationalism. It argues that knowledge comes from reason, deduction, and innate ideas that we possess before birth. It dismisses the five senses as sources of mere opinion. So, this says that when you're actually born with all the information that you need in your head. And the rest, you're just receiving a sensory info and you can just, do whatever with it. Whereas empiricism says that there are no innate ideas, so you're born with absolutely nothing, tabula rasa. And that sense, perception, observation, experience are the sole sources of knowledge. Positivism is about exactly the same as empiricism. However, it says that universal order can be uniquely described and built upon through the scientific method. So, this is more of a Newtonian physics approach. Relativism suggests that our worldview is a creation of the mind. So, while your world, the world that you're experiencing right now, is real, the way that you're experiencing it, the way that you're perceiving it is subjective because it's shaped by your beliefs, it's shaped by your values, and it's shaped by the societal context. The third one is ethics. Now, there is a very important distinction here, Ethics focuses on practical decision making and evaluates what is morally good, bad, right, or wrong. We all know what ethics is, kind of. So, the important distinction here is morality. It refers to individuals' character and specific behavior. So, when we refer to morality, you're referring to the action itself. Okay? So, when you do something, when you think about doing something, you're referring to morality. But when you're trying to take apart what you've done to see if it was ethical or not, we're speaking of ethics because you are trying to find out if what you did was good or bad. For example, if you examine what you did, if you examine that moral conduct, then that's ethics. So it's like a framework built around morality. Now, these ethics, meta ethics, normative ethics, I've never seen them being referenced anywhere through my 3 years. So I don't think you need to know these, but let's go through them just in case they want to be zesty with it. Meta ethics it studies the origins and meanings of ethical concepts like free will. Normative ethics looks at universal norms for right and wrong behavior. Applied ethics analyzes controversial issues based on specific context. Utilitarian ethics balances the good/pleasure against the evil/pain produced by an action. I like utilitarian ethics because it really teaches you how to look from the bright side of things. Virtue ethics focuses on human character and what makes a person virtuous. For example, Aristotle's approach, which is being the best at what you do, always putting the most amount of effort you can put into it. Logic is the study of correct reasoning and truths based entirely on the meanings of terms. It allows humans to learn what is unknown through necessary conclusions. It is divided into formal, informal, symbolic, and mathematical logic. From logic, the most important one is deductive and inductive reasoning. What were these? Deductive takes a general premise and it applies it to a particular one and it reaches a necessary conclusion. Whereas inductive reasoning takes specific observations and creates a general conclusion from those. And the generalizations that are probable but not guaranteed, it says. Yeah, because if you generalize to something, it may be wrong. You're taking 5 examples and trying to create a generalization out of that. And it just might not be true. Maybe the 6th guy will make it different. Political philosophy and philosophy of law. Political philosophy studies a person's relationship to society, questioning the foundations of the state, government, liberty, justice, individual rights. If you see state, government, liberty, justice, Trump, it's political. If you just see any of those, how to run the state, how to run, how to be a good leader, it's political philosophy. Philosophy of law provides abstract analysis of legal institutions and the nature of law, investigating the criteria for legal validity and the complex relationships between legal obligations and moral obligations. Yeah, the things that philosophy of law looks at is very different because, for example, you kill a man, but you may be just in your killing because that man was trying to kill you. So what's the law going to do here? Because killing is wrong. So it's trying to look into what that is. Philosophy of art and philosophy of science, boring. Philosophy of art examines the fundamental nature of art, beauty, expression, and the sublime. It differs from art criticism, which evaluates especially. Okay, so it seems that if you criticize art, you're just taking one single incident of that art. But if you're philosophizing art, then you're looking at art in general. Philosophy of science analyzes the assumptions, methods, and societal implications of scientific inquiry. It asks defining questions about the true aims of science and how humanity should interpret scientific results. I think it's self-explanatory. It's questioning science. What else can I say? To sum up, the most important ones are these. Idealism says reality relies entirely on the mind and mental social factors. Materialism says only physical things exist and you don't exist. Your consciousness is solely the result of active material operations. And epistemology, which is about knowledge, whereas ontology is about existence. Epistemology, there is rationalism. Knowledge comes from reason and innate ideas. Empiricism says no innate ideas, tabula rasa. Your experiences are the sole sources of knowledge. Positivism is just scientific method applied to empiricism, while relativism says that your worldview is a creation of the mind and is subjective. And what was it? Morality is the act, whereas ethics is a questioning of that act. Okay, good.